Hi, morning traders. I hope everyone is having an awesome week. Uh, this is the ideal workout that we should all have as traders. Every day when you wake up, always have a look at the fundamentals, right? Have a look at the economic calendar to make sure that you're not caught flat-footed. So you need to know that if you're trading the dollar, look at the high impact news that could affect your positions. If you're trading the euro, the same. So this is when every session we start with the economic calendar to try and analyze the possible fundamental news that could definitely have an impact. Now, away from the fundamentals, I think most of us now are aware that Trump is in town. And maybe I've shared this with you. My first encounter with Trump was in 2016. It was my second year in live trading. And a simple tweet could, you know, lead the markets into areas that you didn't expect. So right now, as we will see in our gaps, so many trades have gaps, and so that tells you that what Trump did over the weekend, the tariffs and everything, they had an impact on the positions on different assets. So this is the I would really insist on this period, this Trump's presidency. Risk management is what will keep you in the game. It will be your holy grail, not your strategy. Risk management, I repeat, that is the only way most traders will survive, because you can't really predict what Trump will say next, right? We are expecting him to issue tariffs on the European Union. The euro we will see some impact on the euro, right? We don't know when. He'll just post on his truth social media and everything will just go haywire. So that's the thing that we need to take note of. Observe risk management more than anything else, right? If you don't have skills on risk management, make sure that you attend our mentorship session every day from every Monday to Thursday from 11 to 12 p.m. As we speak right now, there's a session that is ongoing for mentorship, right? So make sure you attend those sessions so that at least you're in the loop on how to manage your positions, right? So that you're not blowing your accounts, right? Because capital preservation is the most important thing when it comes to trading. Preserve that capital so that when an opportunity arises, you're able to take that position. So if you blow your account when an opportunity arises to be bullish or bearish, and of course you don't have the money, then of course you'll miss out on that one. So make sure that you manage your trade. So let's have a look at some of the impact here. Early in the morning, we had during Sydney session, we had employment change and employment rate. This remained as it was 5.1 as per the expectation. There was now this one where like there was an increase, so it was a positive, but that didn't really have so much of an impact on NZD. Why? Because right now it's the dollar that is running the show, right? The weak dollar is what is playing out. So we'll get to our technicals after having a look at this. Then of course we had the Trump president speak, and of course you will see a lot of moves played out during this time, right? The dollar weekend. Yeah? So later in the evening, we'll be looking at ADP, non-farm and employment change. So this is the number that comes in before NFP. Remember, this is NFP week, right? We have NFP on Friday. But I hope we all know those in Kakamega, the FX Pesa, the free trading masterclass, we are coming to Kakamega. So anyone from Kakamega, please, let's meet at Golf Hotel. Make sure that you register via the FX Pesa social media handles. All the details are there. Okay, so this is the data that comes before NFP, and it tends to give an estimate of what to expect during NFP. And so what we are expecting is 148K. This is the expectation, the forecast by traders or investors, that the number is higher than the previous month. So the actual number is what will probably move the market. I don't expect so much of a movement, but then again, we are in Trump's presidency, so there could be some, impact here and there playing out, right? So always be, once again, risk management is what will save us during this time of Trump's and unpredictability, right? You're not able to predict what he will say next, right? Because it's not outlined in the economic calendar. He'll just do his thing on his Truth social media. So I remember job creation is a very important goal for the Fed. And so when it comes to that, that's why they really need to track the jobs that have been created in the US, right? Because that in a way could affect inflation, which is something that the Fed is always on the lookout, right? To stabilize the economy. So that number, if this number comes out higher than 148k, then it's good for the dollar, right? If we see a number 150k, 160, 170, the higher the number, the more we will see the dollar strengthening, right? The dollar could strengthen at this point in time. However, as we all know, the dollar has a gap that needs to be closed. And so we anticipate to see that maybe play out tomorrow, right? So if this number comes out lower than this, maybe 130, 140, the lower the number, 120, the lower the number, the weaker the dollar. So we expect to see how this plays out as we get into the New York session. Then, of course, we also have ISM services PMI. So this is data. It's a survey of about 300 purchasing managers, which asks respondents to rate the relative level of business conditions, including employment, production, new orders, prices, supplier deliveries, and inventory. So basically, it shows how healthy the economy is, right? Like people have been employed, like how are the orders? Are guys requesting for orders, but now that's more on manufacturing. So when it comes to services, now you're looking at the service industry, and it's a very good data to determine how the economy is playing out, right? So we will see how what's the number. The forecast is that the number will be 54.2, right? So if this number comes out higher than this, right, it's a good rating. That, it means the US economy is doing so well, and so it's a plus for the dollar. However, if this number comes out lower than this, 54 point, maybe 54.1, 54.0, anything lower than this, like 52, you could see some volatility because it will be outside almost a certain range, where guys will be like, oh, what's happening to the US, right? Like things are not working as we expected. So that will lead to a weak dollar. So basically, those are the fundamentals we are looking at. Remember, most importantly, we have NFP on Friday. So manage your positions as we go into Friday. And for the guys in Kakamega, we'll be coming with our team, and we'll decipher the NFP and see how you can take advantage of the volatility during that time period while still observing risk management. So at this point in time, let's go to the technicals and get to see how the majors are performing, how gold is performing, how UT100. We saw the impact of Nasdaq over the weekend, and so let's try and see whether the market has recovered from the tariffs news over the weekend. If you have any questions, please let me know. Okay, so we will start off with USD-CHF. USD-CHF was able to close the gap over the gap that was occasioned by the tariffs over the weekend, and so we can see that gap is closed. So what are we looking at on this particular asset? I'm still bearish on this one, so I would want to see possible areas of support, right, playing out. So one of the areas I'll be interested to see USD-CHF come to is, let me remove these ones, trade history. There's a possibility we could see more bearish move on the dollar, a more bearish move on the dollar. We can see some strong resistance that played out here kind of strong support that as resistance, sorry, that played out over here. So let's see on lower time frames how that played out. So there are areas where you seek opportunities. For example, last week's low. This is an area that probably would want to see the market test out. And so uh, based on that, I'm looking for sell opportunities on USD CHF. So any bullish move is probably an opportunity to take sells. So I would want to see how this trade plays out to that price level. So maybe a test of today's Asian high. So maybe we could see this bullish move before the continuation of the bearish play. That's what I would want to see on USD CHF. Right. There's also a possible area that USD CHF could go to now last week's low. That's a possible outlook on this particular asset, right? But then again, we could also see a bullish push to probably this order block here before a bearish push. So I wouldn't rule out USD CHF being bullish to here before now dropping. So those are the possible areas that I would want to see USD CHF come to. So remember, for those who've been attending our classes, you need to look at the confirmations, right? The candlesticks that will play out here, the candlestick patterns that will play out here will determine whether the short is valid, right? If we see maybe a shooting star here, if we see a bearish engulfing here, if we see an evening star, right, then that will probably give confirmations that we are still in that downtrend. However, if we see a strong bullish candle, then maybe price could be now headed to the other area, possible resistance. And then maybe from there, we can now look at confirmations once again and take short opportunities. Then USD JPY, where we go to higher time frames and try and understand where we are at. So let's go to the weekly. So the dollar still looks weak. And so I'll still be looking for a bearish USD JPY. So I'm just mapping out my moving averages as possible areas of support. So I would probably want to see a test of this high. I would want probably to see a test of that high, the Asian high on USD JPY. So if we go to H1, that's a possible area, or we could just look at this order block over here. So if USD JPY was to be bullish, and then maybe from there we look for sells. That will be a good play on this particular trade, USD JPY. So right now I'll probably want to see some bullish push coming in, and then maybe from there we could see some bears stepping in to push the market down. Let's look at NZD USD. Yesterday I was looking for a bearish push before a bullish move. That didn't play out. So remember, we still have this gap. So let's remove this one. So let's remember there's this gap And I know most traders were trying to trade this gap last week, and I think not many traders have been able to hold, especially after now the tariff news. There are guys who blew their accounts. You know how like you tend to remove your lots, sorry, your stop loss just because you still believe this gap has to be closed, right? So I know some traders who removed their stop losses on Friday because they projected that it will be bullish, and yes, we had that bullish push, but some of them got in at maybe at some point here, and they didn't have a stop loss because they felt by Monday we should see the continuation of this bullish move. Unfortunately, we all know what happened over the weekend, and that led to this gap. And so there are guys who lost their trades. Once again, this tells you how important it is to have risk management during this time of Trump's presidency. Trump is not the conventional kind of guy. He will utilize whatever resources he will use. He's very good in bargaining. You can see what has happened after he raised the tariffs in Mexico. The Mexican government has decided to deploy 10,000 troops to protect the border. That is what Trump wanted, right? When it comes to Canada, the same thing, right? You have to play ball. So he's really good at negotiating some of these things, tough going tough. So some of these things will come. Some of these policies will have effects on the market, right? Outside the economic calendar. So risk management is very important. Don't remove your stop loss. You'd rather take a loss of 20 pips rather than taking a loss of 100 pips, right? Because you can always stage a comeback on the 20 pips, but 100, oh, it will take you some time. So always remember that. Okay. So NZD USD, what are we looking at? So let me look at lower time frames. So I'm still bullish on this one. So I would want to see, because either way, this gap has to be closed either today or um, by Friday, right? Or on Friday during NFP. We should probably see this gap closed, just like this gap was closed over from the weekend, right? So let's look at possible entries. So it's interesting that I have a moving average here, the 50 EMA that could act as a take profit, and that is above the gap, right? So we can see some strong bullish candles on NZD USD, and we can see a strong support, right, based on last month's low, right? So this is no, actually, yeah, last month's low, the month of June, sorry, January was tested, and these sellers were rejected. We can see that strong wick, right, signifying that the buyers are quite strong. So I'm still bullish, only that probably I would want to see an entry, and this is what I would want us to analyze. Where would we be looking at? I would probably map out the Asian low as a possible area of support. So a test of this low, would probably give me a reason as to going bullish from this area. Remember, buy low, right? So I know there are guys who will be chasing this trade, but for me, I still believe if we look at, let's go to H4. This order block from this area could still hold as a possible area of resistance, right? This order block could hold as a possible area of resistance. So let's see how this bullish push reacts to this price level, right? Here. So I'll probably want to see this market get here, encounter some sellers, some bears, and then test the bulls at this price level, the Asian low, and then probably from there we could see some bullish push play out. So for me, that's the plan, that I'm not buying here. I would want to buy it at a cheaper price, which is a well-defined area, the Asian low. Then Audi USD, same, we're still bullish. Remember, Audi USD also has a gap. You can see this gap here that was not closed. Once again, I know traders who last week were trying to trade this gap, and every time there was a bearish move, they would remove their stop losses. So by the time on Friday, the hopes were high that indeed we are bullish, and on Monday we'll have a complete push to that area and close that gap, right? Unfortunately, once again, we are in the Trump's presidency. Over the weekend, the 25% tariff news led to havoc, and I want so many guys. I know guys who had removed their stop losses who are taken out. They woke up Monday to blown accounts, right? So don't be that guy. I will insist on this. Observe risk management, right? Yeah, and I know some of us have had this experience where after blowing your trading account, after you've blown your account, that's when you start seeing clear setups from that, maybe the next day or even later. If you blow your account, maybe during London session right now, during New York, setups line up and you don't have capital to trade. So don't be that guy. Observe risk management, stage a comeback, and you'll be good to go. So, once just like NZD USD, I would probably want to see the Asian low tested. I would want to see the Asian low tested. So I'm still bullish. Still bullish. If you go to higher time frames, look at that. Over my higher time frame, there's also a moving average here, the 50 EMA, that could act as a possible resistance. However, I'll be interested to see how this trade goes to this order block, right? 63.49. 63.49 is a possible, or you could call it, yeah, 63.50, 48 Apple. That will be a good area where I'll be looking for opportunities. But for now, focus will be on closing the gap, and more importantly, the test of last month's high. Yeah, so that area will be an interesting area for me. And so let me map out a possible area where we'll encounter some sellers. So I'm looking for this bearish push from 62.86. When price gets there, we should probably see some bear stepping in, and then later that's when I'll probably now look at a bullish push to close that gap and eventually go to last month's high. Yeah, so that's what I would want to see on AUD/USD. GU, look at that. GU is also screaming bullish. Once again, look at that. The gap was closed. So let's go to this particular setup. Go to higher time frames. We can see some bit of on the daily. We can see some bit of some resistance on the moving average. However, I would still want to see GU react to this area. It's a possible order block at 25.16. Take profit on this one will be 26.73. I can see a possible quarter point there at 1.2675. So for now, I would want to see how GU reacts to this last week's high, and then maybe we could see some bears coming in before now pushing the market up. So yesterday I was still bullish on this one. Knowing how volatile GU is, probably I would want to look at a possible test of that area. Yeah, so I would want to see GU test last week's high, and then sellers push the market down, and then maybe from there I would want to see bulls take over for the next 240 pips. That's what I would want to see on on GU. Which other currency have we not looked at? Euro USD, right? So let's have a look at Euro USD. Look at that. The gap also on Euro USD was closed. So go to higher time frames. Based on that moving average, that's an area I would want to see it tested. So to get a better entry, I would want to see a bearish push on Euro USD. And probably this is a possible area. The Asian low, right? The Asian low is an area I would want to see maybe the sellers come to before pushing the market up, before buyers push the market up. So that will be the outlook on Euro USD, right? A possible push to that area, and also the high of the month, January. We could probably see Euro USD get to those highs. Those are areas I would want to see Euro USD test. This could play out today or this week as we go into NFP or during NFP. There's a possible push to those areas. We've just done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've done almost all the majors. Let's have a look at UT100 and then gold. UT100 roll. So you can see what happened. Most of the stocks also bled during that tariff. So this will affect, remember, once again, I keep on insisting this because we are in unpredictable times, especially when it comes to Trump. If you look at the world leaders, everyone is preparing themselves, because they know who Trump is. He loves to play hardball. And so even for you as a trader, the only way you can be prepared is observe risk management in your trades. That's how you protect your capital. As other countries protect their interest, your interest is your capital. So protect it by using a stop loss, or be effective in the way you use your risk to reward, how you position size your trades. If you're good in hedging, also just make sure that you're able to preserve your capital, so that whenever opportunities rise up, you're able to take them up. So let's look at this one. I would want to see a bearish push on UT100 to that price level, or a continuation to yesterday's low. Right? So this is a possible area that we could see UT100 go to. Gold, XAU USD. It's been bullish. Once again, remember, gold is a safe haven asset. What do we mean by a safe haven asset? In times of uncertainty like we are in right now, everyone, we are still cautious. No one knows what Trump will do next. That is what you call uncertainty, right? So most investors put their money in gold, right? This is why you can see gold has been bullish, right? So expect a lot of this to play out moving forward because of that uncertainty. So on gold, I'm still bullish on it to around, we are at what price right now? 2869. Maybe get to 2875. Then probably from there, we could see some bearish push before a continuation of the same. What has happened? Yeah. So I'm still bullish on gold. Yeah. As long as Trump is there with his unpredictability, I expect gold to continue being bullish. But there's something we need to remember: gold is yet to close that gap from October 7th, 2023. Right? We still have a gap on gold. When we all know when Hamas attacked Israel that weekend, right? The market closed in a gap, and so that gap at one point in time, it will have to close. This gap, this is the gap I'm talking about, right? This gap has never closed. So from this price level, gold has been bullish. So one day, this gap will have to close. Okay, so let's see how those moves play out. So you can see that gap. No, market has been bullish all along, but one day that gap will close. So that's it from me. I hope we've learned something. Any question? USD JPY. We've done USD JPY, right? Morning, everyone. GBP USD, I've done it. USD JPY done. Euro GBP gold. Let's look at Euro GBP. EU, I've done it. Gold. We've done that, right? So let's have a look at Euro GBP. Where's the link for the mentorship? If you go to the YouTube channel, right? If you go to the YouTube channel, you should have access to that, right? Below this video, right? There's that information. The information contained in these videos for educational purposes. Go to every Monday, Monday to Thursday, right? This needs to be corrected. There's that session Monday, FX Pesa morning, right? That FX Pesa morning session is the mentorship session, so you might want to go there. Okay, so let's look at Euro GBP and gold and Euro AUD, right? And DXY. Okay. So let's go to these setups. Euro. We can have a look at the DXY. So if we go to the DXY, I'm still bearish on it. I'm still bearish on the DXY, which is why I'm looking for those bulls on those trades. Huh? So a test of this low, last week's low, is where I would want probably DXY to come to. I can also see some possible order block at this price level. So those are two areas I would want to see DXY come to. It will give me now maybe as maybe I'll be looking at them as support areas from there. So until DXY gets there, I'm still bearish. So those who are requesting DXY, that's what I would want to see on DXY. Okay, nice. Euro GBP, do I have it here? Nope. Euro GBP, you can see the gap is yet to be closed. Cindy, look at that gap. So you can be sure this gap will be closed at some point. So let's go to higher time frames. So it seems like during the gap on Monday, right? This gap on Monday, at some point in time, came to another block. So I would want to see GBP test this low, right? So probably I would want to see this move. Then let's look at these. I would want to see this market test Monday's low, the weekly low, and then probably from there we could probably see that bullish push to close this gap. That's Euro GBP. Jason, I think Jackson. It's Jackson. Oh, it's Jackson. Okay. Okay. That's what I would want to see on Euro GBP. A bearish push. So let's see how that plays out on these particular trades. So if I'm looking for sales, I'm only looking for sales at a cheaper price, right? I will not be caught up in FOMO. If this trade decides to continue dropping, well and good, then it has gone outside my trading plan. However, if it were to test this area, then I would enter that area. Now, NZD USD is in an area that I had considered a resistance area. Let's see how it behaves at this price level. If it shoots some, reversal candles, some bearish candles here, then that will be a plus for me, because now I would want to look at it from a bearish angle, but then the trade I will be interested to take is this one. It has more rewards. You know how risk to reward plays out, right? This trade has a better risk to reward as compared to this one, because this one is giving me how many pips? This one is giving me 58 pips, right, as compared to this one. So I would want to see, let's see how NZD USD reacts to that possible area of resistance. Audi USD, we are not yet there. GU, we are not yet there. Euro USD, Kombali. So yeah, let's see how those trades play out, and we should be good to go after that. Any other question? So just a recap of what we've just done. Remember, we are coming to Kakamega. Kindly repeat on the Euro USD Asian time. The Asian time, Asian session, Asian low, right? The Asian low refers to the lowest price during Asian session, right? That's the area I want to see Euro USD come to, right? So this is from midnight to 9 a.m. This is what you call the Asian low. I would want to see Euro USD test this low before moving up. So we are coming to Kakamega on Friday. So look out for that free masterclass session. We'll be at the Golf Hotel. Kindly visit the FX Pesa media handles, social media handles. All the details are there. How do you deal with news released at the same time? If they are opposite, one negative, another positive for the US dollar, sit on your hands, Rama. If you don't have a strategy, right, don't react to the market without a strategy. This is why in trading we normally say plan your trades and trade the plan. If your plan, according to your plan, you are looking for a bullish dollar and then it comes out as a bearish dollar, well, you can adjust your plan, but then again, my simple advice will be stick to your plan. If it didn't play out, there will always be trading opportunities. And remember, if you've traded long enough, you'll agree with me is what you'll agree with me is every time you take trades outside your trading plan, you could have a win, but in most cases, you'll have losses, right? Because you'll be trading out of emotions. So the moment you trade out of emotions and blow your account, lose your capital, the trades that will appear after that will be trades that are in line with your trading plan. They are very crystal clear. Kama ni buy, it's a good buy. You can't even dispute it. If it's a sell, it's a clear sell. But then again, do you have the capital to trade? In most cases, at that point in time, you don't have. So you start having, oh, I wish. No, don't be that guy. Plan your trades, trade the plan. Do we have physical classes? Online classes. Ireri, we have online classes Monday to Thursday, right? Monday to Thursday. And from 11 to 12 p.m., right? Like currently there's a class that is ongoing that ends in the next 5 minutes. And then we also have beginners class. So the 11 to 12 is a mentorship class, right? And then the evening class 8 to 9 is a beginners class. So if you're totally new in trading, you might want to join the beginners class so that you can transition later to the mentorship class. The link can be found on this YouTube video, right? If you click down this YouTube video, you should have access to the link. Any other question? Okay. Watu wa Kakamega, tupatane on Friday at Golf Hotel from 12 and let's learn. Okay. Cheers. Have a bullish week. Have a bullish NFP. Use risk management so that next week you'll have trading capital. Yeah. So nice one. Bye bye.